아침에 읽을 책들도 좀 읽겠습니다. Avoid the insanity. The majority of men meet with failure because their lack of persistence in creating new plans to take the place of those which fail. It's one thing to be persistent in overcoming challenges, but it's another to do the same thing over and over again when it clearly isn't working. The rap: winners never quit, and the quitters never win. While some of these are fine to eat on occasion, foods that do not last for years on a shelf are usually healthier. How you move matters. A young woman is so engrossed in texting, she falls into a shallow pool of water in the middle of a shopping mall. Divine protection, safety, peace. The intelligence of the universe operates at every level of life. Better small talk. Talk to anyone. Avoid awkwardness. Generate deep conversation and make real friends. Call back. Well, what if your office provided free donuts? How many would you need to change your opinion of work? Reshape your brain to achieve. Make emotions work in your favor. Activate your memory. Spot the hot prospect disguised as problems. Keep your brain healthy. Cultivate your drive to win. Choose the right risk for higher rewards. Tune out the distraction. Chapter 23. Give up if you want to achieve the level of performance or achievement you want. Reasonable and realistic are keywords here. It won't be reasonable to give up on your goal of becoming a successful entrepreneur if it had only been 3 months after launching your first business. Realistically, achieving this goal takes years for most people. Give up if you want to achieve the level of performance for achievement you want. Quick recap. The decision to give up or keep going when you aren't satisfied with your results comes down to managing your expectation. If you can lower your expectation and still feel good, keep going. If you refuse to accept lower standards, it's better to give up. Change your brain, change your life. The Breakthrough Program for Conquering Anxiety, Depression, Obsessiveness, Anger, and Impulsiveness. Her brother Peter had been seeing me at the time for obsessive-compulsive disorder. He had had a nice response to the combination of project and psychotherapy. When he heard what was going on with his sister, he insisted that she come to see me. Reluctantly, she came to my office. The 100 Simple Secrets of the Best Half of Life. Make your second half the best of the half. Wash the dishes. You can communicate respect with little acts as much as big. Strengths Finder. Strengths of the Finder. Figure out what every person on your team does best. then help them capitalize on their talents, skills, and knowledge. You may need to explain your rationale and your philosophy so people understand that you have their best interest in mind. Under the food, fire up and fine-tune your employee culture. Proven prevented complacency, the opposite of accountability, and what a company fears most from its employee culture is the complacency, a culture that is uncaring, unwatchable, uncompetitive, and difficult to energize toward any new performance goals. A complacent culture is directly tied to its the perception of the rules of survival and the emotional prosperity being difficult to forecast and impact. Asking the interview, how to ask and answer the question that will get the job. Again, the answer to a question like this needed to center around not just what you've earned, but the challenge of the job opportunity itself. Something along the lines of, there have been a few years in which I've been fortunate enough to be with the organization where bonus earnings were sizable, but I realize that those are very uncommon. I am more interested in the opportunity, the challenge of the job, and the potential. If those things are taken care of, my earnings will reflect my performance. Scholastic Post Dictionary. Ballet. Ballet is a special kind of dancing that takes a lot of practice and training. A person who dances ballet is called a ballet dancer. A girl or woman who dances ballet is also called a ballerina. YouTube Secret, the ultimate guide to growing your following and making money as a video influencer. These appear in a sidebar on desktop computers, below the video on mobile, or at the end of the video a person is currently watching. Game changers. What leaders, innovators, and mavericks do to win at life. When have we refactored his goal list? He decided to completely give up one of his companies because it was making him miserable. Refactored. Management tips. Harvard Business Review. Give the right direction. All too often, people work really hard on a project without fully understanding how their efforts contribute to the organization's overall goals. Range. Why generalists triumph in a specialized world. Where a super forecaster quickly highlighted a change in exchange rate direction that confused him and adjusted. Major bank forecast missed every single change of direction in the decade G analyzed. safe and sound, safe and whole or healthy. It was a rough trip, but we got there safe and sound. I'm glad to see you here, safe and sound. I never lost a game. I just ran out of time. I don't believe in talking to them about the things that they can't change. Perhaps we need to acknowledge those limitations, but not dwell on them. Just accept them. Instead, let's look at what we can do and let's look together at where we can have the biggest impact. The art of success, what no one ever taught you, but you still need to know. More than meet the eyes. What lies behind us and what lies before us are tiny matters compared to what lies within us. Happiness is not an end, it is only a means, an adjunct, a consequence. Men go first to marvel at the heights of a mountain and the huge waves of the sea, the broad flow of the rivers, the vastness of the ocean, the orbits of the stars, and yet they neglect to marvel at themselves. To enjoy freedom, we have to control ourselves. Never fail to know that if you are doing all the talking, you are boring somebody. Everyday greatness, inspiration for a meaningful life. His words should never leave me. They give me no peace. After some days of severe struggle with myself, I finally telephoned my brother-in-law. I would like to see him and the family, I said before leaving. Be a little humble. You have lost a loved one. That is sorrow enough. Must you inflict further injury on yourself because you lack courage to cleanse your own heart? Social media marketing, latest tips and trends. That said, let's have a look at amazing ways through which you can market on printers on the go. You can win, a step-by-step tool for top achievers. Winners don't do different things. They do things differently. Internal motivation is the inner gratification, not for success or winning, but for the fulfillment that comes from having done something. It is a feeling of accomplishment rather than just achieving a goal. Reaching an unworthy goals does not produce a gratifying feeling. Internal motivation is lasting because it comes from within and translates into self-motivation. Motivation needs to be identified and constantly strengthened to succeed. Write down, write down your goals. Keep them in front of you and read them morning and the evening. Internal motivation comes from within. Some of the important internal motivators are a sense of responsibility, accountability, ownership, pride in performance, etc. 10 powerful phrases for positive people. I struck up. I struck up a conversation with an elderly gentleman whom I met in the parking lot of the health building. He was in his 90s, but looked much younger in his beautiful shirt and tie and bright blue spotted coat. I said to him, "You look like a miller. You look like $1 million." 10-minute Toughness, the mental training program for winning people. The game begins. Once you have learned how to manipulate these tools, you can apply them to every facet of your life that demand a little toughness. A considerable body of research validates that each of these 5 tools is highly effective for improving an individual's ability to perform. What I have done is to organize and structure the tools into a simple and concrete mental workout. The Don't Sweat Affirmation, 100 inspiration to help make your life happier and more relaxed. I receive people with compassion and see the innocence that lies within their souls. I remain in the moment when working with others, offering a competent and compassionate perspective at all times. Nothing should be prized more highly than the value of each day. How will you prize the value of this day? What will you do to make it count? Maybe this is the day to start a big project. Say hi to someone you'd like to know. Strengthen a friendship. Find a mentor. Take a positive risk. Join a club. Volunteer for a service project. Tell your parents you love them. Start a fitness program. Break a bad habit. Or nothing should be prized more highly than the value of each day. Success is a choice. 10 steps to overachieving in business and life. These are the untouchable attitudes also affects companies. These untouchable attitudes also affects other companies. It happened in the automobile industry with General Motors, Volkswagen, and many others. It happens in the entertainment industry where today's hot studio becomes tomorrow's that laden disaster. It happens to restaurants, bars, clubs that one day the people are lined up outside the door. The next, you drive by and the place has a different name. Even the giants of American industry The blue chip companies become casualties of success, but they are untouchable. The people who believe their success has made them immune to failure. Untouchable. You can heal your life. You can heal your life. I declare peace and harmony within me and around me. All is well. All is well. Respect is something you have to earn, not something you get because you are in charge. You miss 100% of the shot you never take. Respect all, fear none. Coming together is a beginning, keeping together is progress, working together is the success. The time to relax is when you don't have time for it. I never think of the future. It comes soon enough. We make progress if and only if we are prepared to learn from our mistakes. Sometimes things can go right only by first going very wrong. Courage makes both friends and foes. Fear of failure is the father of failure. Hope for the best. Be ready for the worst. Hope for the best. Be ready for the worst. If fate hands you a lemon, try to make the lemonade. You can sell more with your ear. You can sell more with your ears than with your mouth. The best way to change the world is to change yourself. The door of opportunity is opened by pushing. The mystery method, how to get beautiful women into the bed. Having solid game is more important than getting phone numbers. Solid game make for solid numbers.